Here's the floor it's going to be going on. Tongue and groove floor. Got the 1/4-inch spacers still in between the floor and the wall for expansion and contraction. Take those out. Right before, we're going to do some custom corner blocks. Right now I'm just going to cut off the bottom of the existing casing, and then we'll put in a custom casing around it with a nice header. So we'll have to work around the washer and the dryer here as well. Alright, so here is the plinth block. It's approximately 9 inches by 5.5. This is cut down out of pine hobby board from Home Depot. It's not quite 3/4 of an inch thick, but I'm able to get a lot of plinth blocks out of this. It sands down nicely, primes and paints nicely. It goes for about $20 for a board, but like I said, you get a lot of plinth blocks out of it. Here's the corner pieces. This stands about 8.5 inches tall by about 1 3/16 inches all the way around. What I did is ease the edge on the areas that aren't in the corner, so you have where the two walls meet, and then this is the exposed area. So just kind of ran it through the table saw and then sanded it down just to ease the edge, and then took down some of that exposed grain at the top. So prime and paint will take, and so I mean you're going to get some dust that settles in there, but everybody's got to clean. So, taking that grain down just makes it a little bit smoother. So first step is I'm going to cut the bottom of the existing casing out, which will eventually be changed into the new casing, but I don't know if I'm going to deal with that today because I'm trying to show you here where this shelf bracket meets. It's going to run into the new casing. The new casing is 5.25 inches wide, so it's not a huge deal, but you have to cut that part of the shelf out, which you may end up doing right away anyway, I'm not sure. Main thing is I'm dealing with, I want to get the baseboard out of the way. So like I said, it's a 3-part baseboard, and I'll walk you through that just here a second. Alright, so the corner blocks are in and the plinth blocks are in. You can see the difference in size as to what the casing will be and what it currently is. So pretty big difference there. Had to modify that plinth block in the corner, chop a couple inches off that, and won't need a corner block in there, so only needed 3 for the room. So I had to duck in behind the dryer to put that one in, but now I will be able to determine, once I determine what the bottom piece is lengthwise, the other 2 pieces are going to be exactly the same, so it'll go pretty quick. So here's the base all installed. There's the plinth blocks there to the left, and got the corner blocks, and then the 3-piece moldings stacked. So in just a minute here, I'll give you a more granular look at the materials that went into it. Alright, so here's kind of a closer look at the stacked moldings. This is a 1/2-inch cellular PVC. It comes in 4-foot by 8-foot sheets at Home Depot. Goes for about $70 for one of those, but you can get a lot of material out of that. So this is 4 inches tall. Only comes in 8-foot lengths. in the 4x8 sheets, but I think it comes in longer lengths when you're not going quite as wide. Middle piece is 1x2 MDF. I like this because it goes for about $1.50 for an 8-foot piece. If it's off the floor, it's fine. A lot of times you got to worry about water, but since this is stacked in the middle, all we're going for was a profile. So it's 3/4 of an inch thick. Actually, it's 1.5 inches. It's called 1x2. I know everybody's probably familiar with that. And this is more MDF here, basic casing. So as you can see in the video, all we're doing is just stacking those up, just like that. It gives a good profile. There's another look at the corner blocks with a profile on top. It's 9.5 inches tall. Before I think I said it was 8.5, it's actually 9.5 to stand proud of the top of the baseboard. So this comes in 8-foot lengths. This is ripped down to 1 inch and 3/16. That way you get 16 linear feet of it once you've ripped it in half, because it comes in the 1x4 pieces. So as long as you got time to manufacture the stuff, I try to do stuff that is the least expensive but would also work. I thought it was important to use the PVC at the bottom to protect against any water from mops, or if like this case, it's a laundry room. If it ever floods, you don't ever have to worry about it, as long as it doesn't go over 4 inches tall. So, but that's it. I think next we might tackle the casing here. So here's the casing. It is 1/2 inch sheet of MDF ripped down into 5 1/4 widths. It's approximately almost exactly 6 foot from the top of the plinth block to the bottom of where the header will be. So it's pretty much standard measurement throughout the house. I had to rip this down, had to take about 1.5 inches off this side. And you can see rounded the edges. Now that does get a little gritty when you're have the exposed end of that MDF. Just got to sand it, prime it, sand it, and then paint it. You never truly get rid of all that, but it can be minimized a lot. All right, so here's the next step: is applying this header to the top of the casings. I thought this would fit. This was made for another door, but it's coming up about 2 inches short. Kind of demonstrate here. It just sets on top of the casing. I usually allow 1/2 inch for the bottom molding to hang over each side of the casing. In this particular case, the molding is going to terminate straight into the wall, so it'll have to be just flat on one side and then have the regular profile on the other side. And like I said, the bottom the bottom molding is going to hang over about 1/2 inch. So, getting ready to start that, and I'll walk you through that process. So there it is with the header installed, terminated into the wall over here. So it didn't have to do that short return on both sides, but you can see what it looks like with its finished edge there. So the middle part is 1/2 inch MDF. Just used a stock molding of poplar molding. Top there is a ripped down piece of shiplap. Could use the 1/2 inch MDF, but I didn't want that gritty texture on the edge. You can see the finger joints in that. It's the same material down below there, but once it's sanded and primed and painted, you'll never see it. So there it is, the header, casing, plinth block, 3-piece molding made of MDF and cellular PVC. And that's it.